What's up, football fans? Welcome back to another video, and this is the Carabao Cup Round of 16 review, and we will end it off with the quarter-final draw. Last night was the second batch of fixtures. The first batch of fixtures took place on Tuesday night, and I'll start off with those two. First game of the night saw Stoke take on Southampton, and it was quite a close game, with Stoke City coming back against Southampton at 2-2, and Southampton sealed the deal late on in that game to win it 3-2. This was quite a good game for Southampton, who needed a confidence booster, and also being strugglers in the league, they've come back to this now, and they are looking like they could go on a bit of a further cup run in the Carabao Cup. The second game of the night saw Brentford taking on Sheffield Wednesday, and it was two games in a row where Premier League opposition were almost in trouble against Championship opposition, and Brentford and Sheffield Wednesday ended up 1-1, and the game ended 5-4 on penalties to Brentford. Night 2 started off with Liverpool taking on Brighton and Hove Albion, and what a game that was. The game was one where Liverpool took a long time to get into it, and at the end of the game it was 3-2 to Liverpool. Two Gakpo goals really inspired them, and a late goal saw Liverpool take the 3-2 victory. Aston Villa then took on Crystal Palace, and it was a game where you would probably expect Aston Villa to be winning, since Crystal Palace have been in a bit of a slump lately, and that was completely the opposite of what had happened. Crystal Palace got a 2-1 victory over the Villains, and that sent them into the quarter-final. And I think this is a perfect thing for Aston Villa, because even though they're knocked out of a competition, they have one less competition, meaning they can focus on the Champions League and on the league. A game that would probably shock you when you see the scoreline. It was the first game without Erik ten Hag, and it was Ruud van Nistelrooy taking charge of this game. The surprising factor about this game is on the weekend, United had just lost 2-1 to West Ham, who were struggling a bit in the league, and they took on Leicester City, and they got a 5-2 victory. It was 4-2 at the end of the first half and 5-2 by the end of the game, and what an opportunity this was for United. They really went on and proved that they can score goals, and it's a completely different side to what Erik ten Hag had. The players out there are enjoying themselves, and what could we see from them in the quarters? This is a repeat of the weekend's game when Newcastle took on Chelsea. Of course, on the weekend, Chelsea had a 2-1 victory over Newcastle, and even though the squads were shifted a bit, it was still a bit of a shocker. Newcastle got a 2-0 victory over Chelsea, and the Stamford Bridge side are out of the game, out of the tournament, and Newcastle United march onto the court. A game that you probably would expect it to be an Arsenal game against Preston North End, a 3-0 victory to Arsenal, and they did have some irregular starters and some others getting a chance as well, but they made sure to seal the deal to get the 3-0 victory over Preston North End, not holding back, and they went into the quarters with that. The final game of the night was probably one that you would not expect. Tottenham Hotspurs taking on Manchester City, and even though both sides were rotated, the scoreline will always show that it was a Tottenham game against Manchester City, and Tottenham Hotspurs won it 2-1. Man City tried everything they could late on, but they could not get back into the game. Now it's time to have a look at the quarterfinal draw, and this one is quite exciting. Tottenham Hotspur will be taking on Manchester United, Arsenal will be taking on Crystal Palace, Newcastle United will be taking on Brentford, and Southampton will be taking on Liverpool, and this will be taking place in the week of the 17th of December. That's that for the Carabao Cup round of 16 and quarterfinal draw. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you at the next round.